What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Saturday morning's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Believe it or not, stuff has happened since we spoke yesterday evening, and I'm here today to keep you up to date with the very latest, including a defender who absolutely wants out of the club, two former Liverpool players who could be teaming up over in Italy, a little bit on Mohamed Salah and why Stephen Warnock thinks it could be time for Liverpool to cash in, and of course we're going to be speaking about the main topic of today's video, which is Anthony Gordon and Newcastle's naivety in their initial contract to him. So my friends, this and much more over the next few minutes, but of course I want to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The Anfield Agenda live shows, our last ever two stage shows, are taking place in less than 3 weeks. We're in Cardiff on August the 2nd at the Richard Burton Theatre, and the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool on August the 4th. Both shows are all ages events, and tickets are priced at just £15. You can get the remaining tickets via the link in the description of this video, and we very much hope to see you there on the night. Right, look, let's get into it because there's loads to get through. Pepe Reina and Alberto Moreno are teaming up together again, according to Fabrizio Romano. This time though, it's over in Como in Italy, the club where Cesc Fabregas is also there. Now, this is a rather nice place to finish up your career. I can see the appeal. Those of you who don't know about Lake Como, have a little Google of it. It's George Clooney territory, and it is an absolutely astonishingly beautiful part of the world. So I can see the appeal on top of the footballing side of it as well. So let me know your thoughts there. Alberto Moreno and Pepe Reina teaming back up together again over in Italy. Now, I said at the start of the video that we're going to be talking a little bit about Stephen Warnock and what he had to say about the Mohamed Salah situation. Well, this is the exact quote from him. He said, "He's been an unbelievable player for the club, but I agree when pundits say he's lost his edge and half a yard of pace." It is finally good to see somebody acknowledge what I've been trying to say for a long time. He is not the same player he once was, Mo. And while he can still input and still help us out massively, he has lost a half yard of pace, and he isn't the player that he once was. He said, "I still think he's a creative force and has an element of fear for defenders, but if Liverpool were to receive a figure of anywhere upwards of £100 million, they could reinvest that and rebuild the team effectively. That's a very difficult thing to do, and I wouldn't want to be involved in the decision, but you have to take his age into consideration." And then he said, "Would you take the money? You probably would." So what do you guys think? I think we're resigned to losing Mohamed Salah for free in a year's time. I think he'll move to Saudi at that point, and that we're just going to have to respect that whole process and move on from it. For me, I would have liked to have seen him sold this summer to raise some money for the football club, but if the club are quite happy to look at it and think they got value out of Mo during his time here, then who am I to second guess it? But I don't want to hear that the manager hasn't got money to strengthen, because, you know, those two things are linked. Next up, a little bit from our goalkeeping coach, and before I move on to him, I want to just draw your attention to the stories that are coming out, especially from a former Everton employee, rather high-level employee, who said that he's heard whispers that Alisson Becker is of interest and wanted by Saudi Pro League clubs. We know they're trying to sign Ederson from Manchester City. It's believed they've given a take it or leave it £25 million plus £2 million in bonuses offer to Manchester City. Whether they accept that or not remains to be seen. But Liverpool don't need to sell Alisson. He's got 3 years left on his Liverpool deal, to the best of my knowledge, and he's settled and he's happy, and he's already rebuffed their advances before, and I hope he does it again. Next up, a post from a guy called Barry, and how are you, Barry, if you're watching? Barry at Backseatsman LFC on Twitter, or X as it's called these days. He said, "New goalkeeping coach Fabien Otte making the goalkeepers train with noise-cancelling headphones and glasses that impair your vision is the kind of nerdy stuff that I live for." It's not really my cup of tea, but if it does make improvements, I'm not here to judge any little advantage that you can get. But how do you improve on perfection? Which is kind of what we pretty much have with Alisson Becker. So look, I'm not against it. It's an interesting insight, and thank you, Barry, for letting us all know about it. Next one up is the information from Sepp Berg, and this one dropped late last night. Came out just after 11 o'clock. We know that Liverpool have valued Sepp Berg at a figure that his representatives don't like the sound of. But this piece here, coming via PSV Inside, said that Sepp Berg and his representatives have communicated to Liverpool that his €20 million asking price is simply too high. Go on to say that PSV Eindhoven, who've been named as an interested club, are said to have been deterred by the fee, and Berg reportedly wants to leave for first team football, and here's the key part, despite the arrival of Arne Slot. We've seen that he's done well in pre-season. We've seen that he's impressed the coaching staff, but it does look, at least according to this piece, that he wants out and that there's no change in the man's mind. Well, let's see what happens. Will the football club get an offer that they deem acceptable? Will Sepp Berg get his move? Or will we see him at Liverpool to start the next season? Personally, I'm calm about the situation. I think I can see the appeal of giving Sepp a try, but if a player doesn't want to be here, well, then it's down to finding a settlement, and that's where the club come in. They've got their valuation. If nobody wants to pay it, then it is what it is. Until then, he's a Liverpool player. And the last bit today is just following on a little bit from my conversation with David Lynch. I can't believe how naive Newcastle were when they signed Anthony Gordon. So they paid 40 plus 5 million in add-ons, but he only signed a 3.5-year deal. That really did take me aback yesterday when David said it to me. It's mad. I don't understand how such a high-profile signing would be signed on such a short-term deal. Came in halfway through the campaign on a 3.5 year. It's madness. But it plays into our hands because I don't think we've seen the last of Liverpool and Anthony Gordon. Now, I'm not saying 100% we're going to try and sign him this summer, but when Mohamed Salah departs, if he's still at Newcastle and hasn't signed a new deal, he'd be going into the last year of his contract at that point, and Newcastle have a big decision to make. 2 years to go on your contract is usually the time when a football club looks to get you in and start negotiating a new deal. And we know that Newcastle are going to offer him one. It's just going to be a matter of what Anthony Gordon and his camp want to do. I'm sure he's respectful and happy up in Newcastle, but he is a lifelong Liverpool fan. It is his hometown, and Liverpool are interested, albeit not at the money that Newcastle were asking for previously, which included Jarell Quansah. It was a no-go for Liverpool on that one. But from speaking to David and a couple of other journalists that I've been messaging with, I don't think we've heard the last of this one. And I think Anthony Gordon to Liverpool has legs, just a matter of whether it's going to be this summer or whether it drags on into next summer. I'm not trying to scare any Newcastle fans potentially watching, by the way. Nothing but respect for Newcastle as a club. But it is business, and it would be a rather astute piece of business for Liverpool at the right figure, because he'd run through a brick wall for the shirt, and I do think that the kid still has development left in him. So if the number's right, I wouldn't say no to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. My friends, we will be back live tonight at 8:45 with the late night agenda. It is the weekend, so I hope you're all having a wonderful time. Thank you to everyone who sent in kind messages recently as well. Our Anfield Agenda family is continuously growing, and we really appreciate your continued support. So don't forget, drop a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if there's any videos or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to let me know as well. Until then, enjoy your Saturday, and I will catch up with you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.